Yo, what is up, guys? Super Party Time here, back with another video. I just want to say thanks for 100 subscribers. It means the world to me. You guys are absolutely great. Thanks for 100 subscribers. I know it's not that much compared to other YouTubers, but I mean, anyways, we'll get into the video. I'll do a giveaway soon. But anyways, tip number 1 is to use Ghost. Ghost is a perk. You want to put it in one of your loadouts. You won't get 2 weapons, but it'll keep you off UAVs and heartbeat sensors. It's really good. You're gonna wanna. It's a perk that's in the second slot for a perk. It's super helpful. I wouldn't suggest using it for your first loadout. I suggest having one loadout with Overkill and the second loadout with Ghost. It'll keep you off heartbeats. It will, like, trust me, if you want to win a game, Ghost is almost mandatory. Obviously, that isn't true, but it'll make you, it's a lot harder to, like, detect you. It'll win you a lot more games. Just trust me on that. The second tip is always to use a suppressor. There are 3 types of suppressors in this game: monolithic, lightweight, and tactical. I suggest using monolithic because it increases your damage range values, which will reduce the damage drop-off you have, so you'll deal more damage at longer ranges. Lightweight is something you'll never want to use, and tactical I just don't suggest using either. I suggest using monolithic on almost everything. Tip number 3 is to buy UAVs before self-revives. This tip might not apply in solos though, because in solos you might want to buy self-revive before UAV, because then obviously you're just dead in solos. You do have Gulag, which you can win, but I mean, that isn't really a place you want to be in solos. But in squads, you usually, most of the time, people are just gonna finish you as soon as you get downed in squads, in almost all game modes too. So I suggest buying UAVs so you can see where enemies are. You know, I think, hey, but Ghost and stuff like that, but people don't really usually use Ghost until late game, because again, most people don't take Ghost for your first loadout. So that's what I suggest doing. If you're gonna do anything, I'd buy a UAV before self-revive. And then tip number 4 is to don't drive a car near a trophy system. Again, just don't drive a car without a trophy system. That's pretty basic. C4. If you know, you know. Anyways, tip 5 is to always rotate near cover. In this clip, I have my friend shooting at me, and there's 2 examples of this. I mean, the best bet is usually, if you don't think you can kill him, you want to try to get to the closest part of cover. Again, here's another example of that. You always don't want to get caught in the open. That almost is never a good thing. And then the next tip is slide canceling. Slide canceling is something you can do. It's the fastest way to move in the game, so it's pretty helpful. I suggest using it. Here's a clip of it in combat. I slide cancel behind that corner to kill my friend. Obviously, he wasn't really trying there, but you know. Anyways, it is thing. Next thing is drop shotting. Drop shotting something you can do. It's mostly for multiplayer though, not really for Warzone, although it works in both game modes. It's something you might want to consider doing. Anyways, like this last clip is just me and my friend fooling around. We weren't really killing each other. I wasn't trying to kill him. He was trying to kill me. It's a bit toxic, but you know, whatever. I don't care. Anyways, the next tip is I mean, I was gonna go over B hopping, but I mean, it's not really something you really want to do most of the time. You can do it, but I suggest slide canceling. It will make it harder to hit you than B hopping or bunny hopping. Next thing is to coordinate loot for your team. I suggest not everyone using a heartbeat sensor. That's if you're like playing squads. No, not everyone needs a heartbeat sensor. Like, I mean, use a heartbeat sensor for solos and stuff. It'll tell you where enemies are. They're not nearly as good as multiplayer though, so I wouldn't use it for multiplayer. But for Warzone, you really want to use a heartbeat sensor. But not everyone has to use a heartbeat sensor. Like, I suggest 1 or 2 people to use, like, stuns or something like that. Stuns or flashes. I suggest stuns though. Stuns, in my opinion, are better. But I mean, you don't really even need 2 people to have heartbeats. I mean, 2 could be good. 2 people should use heartbeats. I suggest 2 people to use heartbeats. Number 8 is I don't know what tip we're on really. I have this somewhat scripted, but the next tip is, I think this is already like tip 10, but I'm giving you more tips because why not? So the next tip is how loadout mechanics work. The first loadout comes in at 15 seconds when the zone is closing, and the second one comes in when fifth circle starts closing. You can also buy a loadout for $10,000 at a buy station, and you can get all your perks and stuff and all your new weapons. It's a pretty helpful thing. Buy station's not a shopping cart thing, but you probably know that. The next one is to don't split from your squad when you're rotating, whether it be into circle or going to a different place. If you're playing squads, you don't want to be alone, because if you're alone, you're just going to get killed. There's almost all of the squads will put together, so they're just going to kill you and you're going to die, and then you're going to be in Gulag. And then if you lose, you know, your teammates can buy you back, and then you're down $4,500. Or if you win, you know, you just have to reset, and you lose all your perks. So it's not exactly something you want to do. And the next tip is most wanted contracts. The contracts with the star over the head, they're pretty good if you're the last one alive. Anyways, that's the last one. I hope to see you in the next one. Keep this video short, and goodbye.